Team Wipeout Kids Cancer, I don't even know if it was supposed to exist. I don't even know if it was, I was just sitting on the couch one day with my brother, and so NBC does this coverage of the Ironman World Championships, and they have all this fancy dramatic music, and these guys racing in Hawaii doing this race that I thought was just like superhuman, and they cut during the footage to different people that are inspired to race, and there was a guy without a leg doing an Ironman. There was a guy that couldn't use his legs doing everything by hand doing an Ironman. And I thought, well, if these guys can do it, Scott, you and I can do some training and do this Ironman. That'd be kind of fun, you know? And I thought the whole time it was just going to be the two of us.
So that joke really turned into Kevin taking the ball and running with it and turning a team, and I was there to sign up with him, and we really just looked to our friends to bring in more people, give everybody an excuse to be active, and just really seeing what the organization had been doing for families that are affected by cancer on a day-to-day basis, that helped kind of give us a direction that we wanted to go and something to do more than just the racing.
On a whim, I just sent out an email to some friends, and I said, hey, who wants to be a little crazy with me and do an Ironman? And I expected, like one or two of my friends to respond and say, yeah, that sounds great, that'd be fun. Probably people who were already racing before. And then every day someone new would respond. And then there were 2 people, and then there were 3, and then there were 6, and then there were 10. And then before I knew it, after we had signed up, there were 19 people that said, yeah, let's go to Austin and put our bodies through the ringer and race. And it's obviously grown even more from there.
I have several connections to cancer. My grandmother, my aunt, my sister, and myself.
I started running on behalf of my Uncle Jeff, who came down with leukemia. He went through remission about 3 years ago, and he's good to go now. Started running on his behalf over in San Antonio, doing half marathons and full marathons on behalf of Leukemia Foundations, and that's kind of where it all started,
My connection to cancer is through my my aunt. She was diagnosed several years back with leukemia lymphoma. When it first kind of hit our family, it was the first person in our family to ever really have a type of disease like that, and I think it hit us all pretty close to home, and it was a little bit scary. Thankfully, she's found some great doctors. It's been a long process, but she's happy, she's healthy, she's still with us. So,
my uncle, when I was about 7, I'm very close to him. He fought kidney cancer. My aunt actually is a breast cancer survivor, and another aunt of mine actually lost her leg to cancer.
My mom had cancer. I remember we were all sitting down to dinner, and she was like, hey, I got to tell you something. It was actually, it was a really scary thing. I think they caught it really early, which is a good thing, and she's extremely tough woman and was able to overcome it. But I think that, it's a fear that you kind of have to live with, or she does from here on out, and, as being her son, obviously, that's a fear I have to live with too, so.
Cancer has really directly affected my life in a lot of different ways. The impact that it has had really ever since I can remember has been astronomical. It's affected my parents, my grandparents, our extended family friends. I decided that I wanted to start taking steps both personally and with other people to see what I could do to both, guard myself against potential issues in the future, and then also see what we could do to help other people avoid the fight that I've seen so many people go through. Our future generations shouldn't have to deal with this.
Cancer is just such a pervasive disease that it's such a broad thing that really can touch almost anybody. One of my best friends growing up, his wife is a breast cancer survivor, and so pediatric cancer specifically really came from Kevin, my brother, being involved in WOKC.
Before I was part of Wipeout Kids Cancer, I really only had one family member that was really close to me in my life who dealt with the battle. And my grandmother had battled lung cancer and survived, and my grandfather had lost his battle. So I thought, I was sad, you know, but they had lived, you know, really full lives. You know, they had spoiled me. I had many good memories of them. When you see a 60-year-old with cancer, you think, that's sad, you know, that's a shame that they have to fight that battle. When you see a 6-year-old with cancer, when I saw the first childhood ambassador, she was, you know, 5.5 years old, and she was doing this battle, and you would have never known she was getting treated for cancer. She was smiling, she was laughing, she was playing, she was being a normal kid. And that just, I mean, that got me, you know, and I said, I want to be part of this. You know, I want to be part of this organization.
Seeing what the children were going through, it's, you know, it touches your heart. You know, you want to be a part of helping them fight the battle that they're going through. So I just, honestly, I got on and did a Google search and found Wipe Out Kids Cancer, and first called to the chairman. I was like, where do I sign up?
You know, I really enjoy seeing people coming together for a good cause. I like being involved and around other people who are doing something other for people other than themselves.
Because it's not an easy task. It's definitely something you got to commit to, and you know, it's just something I felt comfortable with, especially with WOKC, because it's a pretty good group of guys.
Being able to kind of knock out 2 things that I thought were pretty neat, you know, one being triathlon, but 2 more importantly, helping kids with cancer is a pretty spectacular thing that I just couldn't turn down. So when I got the email, I jumped right in. I maybe a little too bullheaded because I didn't know exactly what I was getting into with the length of the race and everything else involved, but I'm glad I did it.
There are too many lives that have been impacted negatively by this disease, and it's time for us to wipe it out.
No matter how much pain I'm in, I could go through a 3-hour bike ride followed by an hour run. I could be physically, mentally, and emotionally exhausted. My body could feel like it's not working. And then I think to myself, for our Wipe Out Kids Cancer ambassadors, that's a Tuesday. You know, that's a day in their life, and they're in a treatment room. I'm out in the sun and the wind and with music playing and enjoying the moment. Even if my face doesn't look like I'm enjoying the moment, you know, like, you know, this, I'm still enjoying it. And maybe just for that brief moment of time when I feel like I just can't push harder, I can't go any further, I'm starting to experience just a small piece of what they're going through when they're battling this disease.
I may be on mile 5 of a run, and I don't want to keep going, you know, and I know I've got to get to 10 miles. And knowing that what I'm doing can possibly help a family deal with those issues, that, you know, they have a child that's diagnosed with cancer. It's not a death sentence. It's something that with research and the right care and the right people, they could easily get through. And it's just a time they'll look back on as they loved the fact that they had an organization like WOKC to help them through it. But there are families that have to move on because they've had a sad event, you know, and I think that the fact that they stay involved with WOKC shows how great of an organization it is. They want to be there to help new families who are going through this and really guide them along and give them that hope that they had.